everyone, Mary Berger with Computer Diva here, and today I'm going to talk to you about the 3 things you should know about your computer. So, item number 1, what are your login credentials? Every computer, when it's brand new and set up, is given a login. Hopefully, every computer is also given a password. It's optional, but I want to tell you that if you don't have a password for your computer, it's going to make it a lot easier for the hackers of the world to connect into your computer and snoop around if you don't have a password. So if you don't have one, I suggest you get one and put it on. In a Windows computer, you can go into the control panel and then users and click on your user and click on create a password. It's something to that effect. I don't know the exact words. On an Apple computer, it's going to be in the system preferences and then the users, and you can go in there, click on your user, and give it a password. So if you don't have a password, do that. One of the things I wanted to talk to you about in terms of your passwords in general is the fact that a lot of people, if they need computer work, it's because they don't know how to work on their computers. So they're going to either take it somewhere for a repair, or they're going to call me, and I'm either going to connect to their computer remotely, or I'm going to go out and do the fix. One of the first things I'm going to ask you when I sit down to work on your computer is, what is your login and password? A lot of people don't know what the passwords are. A lot of people never know what their logins are. So what I find is a lot of my customers will spend a good 10 or 15 minutes rooting around their office for their password, and that's wasting your valuable time. It's wasting your money. You're paying me to watch you look for your password. You're paying me to guess what your password is. So make sure you have that documented somewhere and you know where it is. In regards to documents with passwords, one more thing I want to share with you in this topic is I have a client who has an ingenious idea for storing passwords. So everybody knows that you should not use the same password for every website that you log into. So this customer created a Word document and listed all their logins and passwords in this Word document. Then she proceeded to highlight all the text in the document, and she did a select all, and then she changed the font to be white. So therefore, the lettering in the document blended into the background so you couldn't see it. So if a hacker gets into your computer and they see your password file, when they go in there, everything's white. The other thing she does is when she wants to add a password or look up a password, she just goes into the document, she selects all the text, and she changes the font to be black. Now she can read everything. Word of caution here, if you're going to use documents on your computer to store your passwords, don't use the word password anywhere in the name of that document. It's the first thing the hackers look for. Give it some weird, obscure title, but something you can remember, such as, Spots Vet Records, something to that effect that, would be so boring no hacker would ever look into it. So that's item number 1. Item number 2, do you have a rescue disk for your computer? It used to be back in the day when you bought a new computer, you would get a set of DVDs that held your operating system, any drivers that were installed, and any pre-installed software. And the reason for that was, in case the hard drive on your computer died, you can replace the hard drive and then quickly install everything back onto your computer, minus your data, of course, basically bring it back to factory defaults. Well, the computer manufacturers don't supply you with those set of DVDs anymore. Instead, what they do is they supply you with recovery software that allows you to make your own either set of DVDs or a little thumb drive. So what I recommend you do is when you purchase a new computer, you also purchase a 32 gigabyte thumb drive. It just plugs into a USB port on your computer, and then run the recovery software on your computer and make a recovery drive. It's really easy to do. It walks you through it. There's a nice little wizard. I recommend 32 gigs on the thumb drive. And what you need to know about this software is all the manufacturers basically allow you to create one recovery, either thumb drive or one set of DVDs. Once you've made that, they won't allow you to make another set. So if you lose it, you're out of luck if you ever need to use it. So usually when I am creating this, I will put it in an envelope I'll label it Recovery Thumb Drive. I will put today's date on it. I will put created by Computer Diva. This will go in the envelope along with my business card. So if you ever need to use it, you've got my number, you know exactly who to call to come out and replace that hard drive and restore your computer back to factory defaults. So that was item 2. Do you know how to make a recovery disk? Item number 3, that has to do with your backup. And you know, I've talked about this a lot, and you all know how adamant I am that you back up your data if it's important to you. If your data is not important to you, don't back it up. But do you know how to check your backup to make sure it's working? So a couple of things I do want to say about backup before we get to that is, first of all, do you have a backup routine? Do you back up your data on a regular basis? Do you know where your data is backing up to? Whether it be one of these little DVDs, a thumb drive, 2 more options, external USB drive, or online backup service. So you need to know where your data is being backed up to. Number 3 here is, how often is it backing up? Is it backing up in real time anytime you change a file? Is it backing up whenever you plug one of these little devices in? Is it backing up one time a day, once a week, once a month? What's the backup routine? How often is it backed up? Next, do you really know how to check it to make sure the backup is working? And the reason I ask you this is because I've had a lot of clients who they're in a panic, their computer's died, they've got a new computer, they need to restore their data from a backup. So a lot of times they don't know if their data has been backed up, they don't know where it's being backed up to, they don't know how often, and they don't know how to check to make sure their backup routine is working. So you need to know that. And if you don't know it, give me a call. I'm happy to take a look at your computer, take a look at your backup situation. I can document all that for you. So you know, anytime you have a disaster, you just pull out this little backup document and you say, oh yeah, Computer Diva documented that for me, and here's where it is, here's how often it's being backed up, here's the last time it was checked. You know the drill. So at any rate, that's about it for the 3 things you need to know about your computer. So if you have any questions, feel free to contact me. My contact information is at the bottom, and I'm more than happy to talk to you if you have any questions. So hey, thanks for listening and have a great day.